The Polybius myth is a famous urban legend that originated in the early 2000s, surrounding an alleged mysterious arcade game that had mind-altering effects on players. While there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of the game or its paranormal effects, many have shared eerie stories related to the myth. Here's a spooky real-life story related to the Polybius myth. In the quiet suburbs of Portland, Oregon, in the late 1980s, a mysterious arcade cabinet appeared in a small, dimly lit corner of an otherwise ordinary arcade. The game was called Polybius. Players who dared to step up to it described an unsettling, hypnotic experience. One evening, a young man named David, who was a regular at the arcade, decided to give Polybius a try. As he dropped his first quarter into the slot, an eerie feeling overcame him. The game's graphics were unusually advanced for the time, and the hypnotic patterns on the screen drew him in like no other game ever had. David soon found himself playing for hours on end, unable to look away. After a marathon gaming session, David left the arcade feeling disoriented and nauseous. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. His nightmares that night were vivid and disturbing, filled with strange geometric shapes and eerie voices whispering in an unknown language. David returned to the arcade the next day, compelled to play Polybius again, but the cabinet had vanished, as if it had never been there. Frantic and desperate, he scoured the area for any clues about the game. But no one had ever heard of Polybius, and the arcade owner claimed no knowledge of it. As the weeks passed, David's mental state deteriorated. He experienced severe headaches, insomnia, and hallucinations. He became paranoid, believing he was being watched by mysterious figures in dark suits. He confided in his friends, who noticed his declining health and strange behavior. One night, David mysteriously disappeared, leaving only a cryptic note behind. His friends searched for him, and his family reported him missing. Months passed without any sign of David, and the authorities were stumped. Then, one fateful night, a jogger in the forest near David's home stumbled upon a dilapidated, abandoned cabin. Inside, they discovered a disheveled and emaciated David, surrounded by strange symbols scrawled on the walls. He mumbled incoherently and appeared to be in a trance-like state. David was rushed to the hospital, where doctors struggled to understand his condition. He never fully recovered, spending the rest of his life in a catatonic state. His friends and family could only wonder if Polybius had somehow opened a door to a sinister and otherworldly realm, forever trapping David's mind. To this day, the legend of Polybius endures as a chilling tale of a cursed arcade game that may have had real-life, mind-altering consequences for those who dared to play it. The Polybius myth continues to be a subject of intrigue and fascination for those who explore the darker side of urban legends and paranormal phenomena.